Hi, my name is Imki Tamani and welcome to the show. Today we have a very decorated radio broadcaster with us, Mr. Daron Mann. So if you want to know a bit about the man, he is a really great radio broadcaster, as we've said, also very keen and passionate animal rights activist and a proud vegan. So it's no wonder that today we wanted to divulge onto this man's lifestyle. Hi, Mr. Daron. How are you doing today?
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's really nice.
Yes, so I want to get right into it, right? We're going back to UPE days, campus radio,
Oh,
and
a
you
different lifetime.
really. So we are UPE days, you are on radio, and you see yourself amongst your peer jocks, and you think that, you know what, I'm actually a really good broadcaster. What sparked the passion to move on?
It was actually two things. I got a sense when I was on the radio station at university. I got a sense that I felt comfortable here,
Mm,
that I could do this.
yeah.
And having a look at the fellow presenters and colleagues around me, without wishing to sound arrogant, I got a sense that I can do this,
Yes.
and this is fun. I'm enjoying it. On the other side of things, I was doing a BCom,
Mm.
which I wasn't enjoying. A BCom degree takes 3 years. It took me six.
Oh.
But on your certificate, it doesn't say how long it took. It just
Exactly.
says you got a
You
BCom
got
degree.
it.
So I've got one. It's hanging in my study. Sometimes we go and look at it and we all go, "That's beautiful." But I hated BCom, and that allied with the natural love and affinity that I had for radio the minute I walked into that studio. I think those two factors combined to make me think, well, maybe one day there's a future
Okay.
in this.
That is super great here. So we're moving along now. We're going to FM radio, which is more commercialized. And at this point, I feel very nervous right now because I think that to myself is like, I'm interviewing an interviewer. So as an interviewer, I'd actually want to know from you, who was your first, or rather let's say, who was your best interviewer, and what was the what made you think that, okay, this guy or this lady is giving me, as the interviewer, the power to actually take in some information from them.
I've had a lot of great interviews over the years. Shannon Elizabeth, she's an animal activist as well. She was in the American Pie movies, for those who remember the
Yeah.
1990s. She's now moved to South Africa, and she lives in Cape Town. It was also an enormous pleasure for me to interview the daughter of Rodriguez. Now, Rodriguez, for those who don't know, was an American musician in the 1970s. And the only country where he sold albums was South Africa. In his home country of America, nothing. Elsewhere in the world, nothing. And two South Africans, you can go and have a look. There's a movie called Searching for Sugar Man,
Mm.
which is a South African film. There's two South African Rodriguez fans. We'd heard stories that this guy had committed suicide, that he died of natural causes. There was even a story that he shot himself on stage,
Mm.
but no one knew what the actual truth was.
Yeah.
And these two South Africans went and looked for Rodriguez to find out if he was still alive.
Mm.
And they found him.
Alive.
They found him in his 60s, working on a building site in Detroit.
Whoa.
They brought him over to South Africa with his family,
Mm.
and it was an incredibly touching moment. The movie narrowed in on the daughter
Mm.
when they were flying to South Africa, and the interviewer said to the daughter, um, "What are you expecting
Mm.
when you get to South Africa? What would make you happy?" She says, "I don't want my dad to be embarrassed.
Oh.
If there are 100 people that come, I will be happy." The movie immediately cut to the Belleville Velodrome in Cape Town,
Four.
packed to the rafters with 15,000 people.
Oh, that must be a good
It
feeling.
was it was absolutely beautiful, and he delivered. His daughter ended up marrying one of his security detail, and she lives in Wilderness now.
Oh.
And I got her in for an interview, which was absolutely amazing, because she herself wasn't a particularly famous person, but that story that she could tell us about her father being found on a building site, not even knowing that his records had been selling in South Africa. The record was called Cold Fact, for those who'd like to have a look. And that for me was really one of my most pleasing and touching interviews.
And it was actually a big life story. So, because he changed, like his life changed, which is great. Please do like my YouTube page and subscribe and put on that notification, because I do want you guys to know me more. You can follow me on Facebook, it's Imkitamani, and on Instagram, it's Imkitamani, and on Twitter, it's @_Imkita M. See you guys soon.